All right, so looking at the main gearbox itself. So this is like the gear selector shaft, and it's obviously got like this pawl here that clips into these grooves, and these are the gears. So it's in first gear at the moment. I put it into first gear so that I could lock the gearbox sprocket to undo the nut on the end of the main shaft. So then that'll be neutral, that one there. Then second, third, and fourth. So what I'll probably do is I might turn that into neutral. I don't know, but obviously there's the pawl which locks into these sort of grooves, and that's obviously spring loaded. And there's a screw on the bottom here, so I think I've got to take that screw off, and then that will relieve the tension on the pawl, and then therefore on the selector shaft. And then there's a nut here on the end of the pawl which will hold the pawl on, so I might as well take that off. Then we'll lift the pawl away, I think, and then that will then allow us to start lifting the gears off the various shafts. Okay, so I'll take this I'll undo this screw and then this nut, and hopefully we'll get rid of the pawl that holds the select. That's what actually holds the gears in place. So when they turn, this pawl locates with the groove and holds it in gear. So as I say, first and then neutral, then second, third, fourth little grooves. Okay, so I'll get rid of this next. Okay, yeah, so I've removed that pawl plunger, undid that screw, spring loaded, which pushes the pawl into these grooves, which means I can now select gears sort of by hand. So that's all gone. Now hopefully by turning the shaft and selecting probably neutral, whatever, one by one I can start removing the gears, I hope. And what I'll do is I'll lay them all out in order, take photos of them to try and make sure. I don't know, I'll see what it's like. That's better. I'll take the damn flash off it. It's actually better. I'll take them. Hopefully, take them all off one at a time, from the main shaft and from the lay shaft. If they'll come off, I don't know. I really don't know. And I'll lay them out all in order. So hopefully, I'll get them back in the right order and the right way round. Which way up do they face? But I'm going to go for a cup of tea first. Right, so I'm now going to try and dismantle the actual gearbox. So I'm going to try and pull the gears off, and I've got labelled different bits. I think you can see them. I've got the lay shaft there, selector shaft there, main shaft there. I'm going to pull the gears out and hopefully lie them down in the right order, if they'll come off. Well, that's not a great start. So that's coming off the lay shaft. So I'm going to put it on nearest out, and with the outside facing upwards. That's my sort of convention, and I know that way around they go. So facing upwards is outwards, and nearest out is on the end of the paper. This one now, why won't this? Obviously doesn't come off, and that's going to be a problem. This is first gear doesn't come off. The gear won't come out. Damn. I'm sort of thwarted at the first hurdle. A circlip or something? No. Well, that's not the greatest of starts, because I can't get any other gears out past what I assume is first gear on the main shaft. Is it just tight? Or it looks like it looks like it might actually be part of the shaft. I don't know. Not sure. maybe it just needs levering off. Ah, yeah, it does seem to be. Was that coming off, or was that the main shaft moving? No, I think that was the gear moving. We check the casing. Yeah, it's just very tight, I think. Or is that the whole shaft coming up? I can't work it out. Phew. Whew. First gear off the main shaft. First gear off the lay shaft. What we got next? Second gear on the lay shaft. Second gear on the main shaft. Okay, what I think I'm going to have to do is take the main shaft out. The main shaft wants to come out, so let's take it out. It's a bit radical. But there we go, main shaft out. So then we've got gears loose, but still don't want to come out. Let's try that. Yeah, that's just, I think, almost anyway. Yeah, changing gear, just cleared it enough. So that, I take it as second gear off the lay shaft. Still can't get, it's a combined second and third gear by the look of it. On what was on the main shaft. But I need to get the selector shaft out first. Now, the lay shaft has come out, so I think I need to get rid of the selector shaft, and then I'll be able to take the rest of the gears out. Okay, I think I've worked it out. So the I just had to loosen the lay shaft. It was just in tight at the back. No, not the lay shaft, the selector shaft. So then, by the look of it, the whole thing comes out together. So that's why I'm trying to pull it out without dislodging anything. Okay, so we got, oops, I'm trying to keep it together. I'm just going to video this for my own benefit. I've got combined second and third gear all set on the main shaft, and not sure that's some sort of joining dog. That's not actually a gear, that's a dog that joins the two gears together for the lay shaft. So that's coming out and going there. That's actually a dog. And this is combines second and third gear, the main shaft. And then we've got the selector shaft. Good. Then what have we got? Then we've got first, second, third gear for the lay shaft. And then fourth gear for the lay shaft. And then we've got the high gear, fourth gear for the main shaft, which I've got to try and pull out and just get rid of some of the oil. So it's like a sleeve gear, so that's the back of it, and then the actual gear's inside. So I'm just going to get rid of some of the worst of the oil, and then hopefully we can drive that high gear, fourth gear, the sleeve gear that's on the main shaft. We'll drive that out of the housing. Out through the bearing, and there is fourth gear for the main shaft. So we've got first gear, second gear, third gear, fourth gear. First gear, second gear, dog, third gear, fourth gear. Then we've got the oil seal. It's got to come off the back of the main shaft with the bearing behind it. So I'll have a go at taking the oil seal off now. Let's have a go at getting the that oil seal looks like in bad shape. Yeah, it's got a kink in it. The thing is that these oil seals, as far as I know, are unobtainable. The good news is I think that you can do a conversion, but I need to check up on it. But that oil seal is definitely not good. It's got a kink in it just there, so that's going to be leaking oil. Although obviously we've got quite a high mix of grease to oil, but even so that's going to leak, and that could have been the source of the oil leak I had before. Although I think maybe I did have a hairline crack here already in the casing, and it was that was leaking. But equally, it could have been this oil seal here. Just one. Good. Dinged out. I'll do the same with the oil seal. So I've got that, and we've got a mounting plate I've got to try and encourage to come out. Oops, it's vanished to the far corner of the workshop, of course. Oh, for God's sake, it's gone right bloody miles. Where's it gone? It's gone. So there it is. So that's like, it's now covered in dust. That's like the seal cover. And there's the seal itself and the seal carrier. Yeah, so that's the seal, which I don't, it's a weird kind of seal. It's not like an ordinary oil seal, you know, it looks like something like a plumber. And you probably won't be able to see, but just there's a kink in the, there's a clear kink in the seal just there. So I'll see about changing this, upgrading it. I don't think they're available, but hopefully there is an upgrade. And I think that that's a seal carrier there. So let's see if we can encourage that to come out. Not sure how to encourage that to come out. It's like the seal, the oil seal carrier is in there. I might just leave it in there and get it out later. And then behind the oil seal carrier is the bearing itself, which feels okay. Yeah, the main bearing feels okay. And then we can see the extent of the crack, of the damage, which is why we're in here in the first place. Right, so let's have a look. I'm trying to make sure you can see this. So here is the crack. Starts about there. And then obviously comes down to the mounting, getting wider and wider, and goes quite deep through the mounting. And so then on the inside, what have we got? I've struggled. You think you can see that? Can you see that? Yeah, so the crack inside, I'm trying to make sure you can see this, is almost to the end of the, well, it basically goes to the end of here inside. So if you see that a big sort of sump, the crack goes all the way from that end of the sump all the way to this end of the sump. So in other words, to the end, it goes down inside. It must go all the way along there inside. Yeah, I can just see it. I don't know if you can see it, but I can see it training the way down inside there. So it'll be a very difficult mend.